Good morning, everybody. Today is day 280. It is 11:04 a.m. in the morning, and it is November 11th, 2023. Happy Veterans Day, you guys. All right, so let's go ahead and get the treadmill started. Throughout the week, it's been running at like 1.6, 1.7, 1.8. 2 is still kind of iffy, so if I can get it up to 2, I have been, and if I don't think that it will, then I just kind of keep it at, like I said, about 1.7 or 1.8. It did stop on me earlier this week after it was oiled, so I don't know if it's going to do that again. It only did it once, and I was able to turn it off, turn it back on, and then go ahead and keep walking. Okay, so I think I'm still enjoying the fact that I'm only recording once a week now, even though I'm walking every day. I'm still making up for the days in advance, and I'm at a pretty high number. You guys know I call them bank days if I haven't used them yet. And so I'm super excited about the fact that I just have those days there just in case some things come up and I can't walk that day, or if it is on a Saturday record. Okay, so hopefully this treadmill will go ahead and be nice to me and work like it has been the majority of the week, because it worked for about a couple of weeks and didn't give me any problems. And so it's kind of awkward, once we oil it, then it decides it wants to start stopping again. I don't know how to explain it. I thought the oil was helping. Okay, so I'm gonna see what speed I can get it up to. You guys know I have my notes here, and I'll probably get to these a little bit later in the video. I'm just gonna tell you guys about our busy week. Okay, and I don't have anything actually written down for today, so I'm kind of not winging it, but it's not set where I have all my topics like lined up in a row. Okay, so hopefully I won't jump around too much. But first, let's just get this thing going. Also, at some point, I'm gonna have to close this book so that I can do time checks, right? But yes, so let's see what we got going on. I don't know. I have not a clue what's going to happen, you guys. Oh my gosh. Okay, but I can tell you we're a minute and 39 seconds in, and I'm now at 0.9. I was going to say 4.9. If I was at 4.9, I would be running, and there's no way I'd be able to keep up with this thing, not at this angle, this incline. Okay, so let's see. What I have noticed is I've gotten up to like 1.6, and when I was getting ready to go up, like it went down. And so I really hope it doesn't do that. And so I think, I believe it was, yesterday, I got it up to 1.8. I'm not going to push it. Okay, so as you guys know, I've been talking about it before. I am not too happy that I can't consistently keep this thing at 2, because my challenge is at speed 2, right? At this point, I'm just happy that it's working. And like I said, the incline is really important, just as equally, if not more. So I have just been trying to keep this thing working. It's at 1.2, and I'm going to tell you, if I can get it up to 2 today, I will, okay? I don't just give up right away to get it up there, but sometimes I can kind of tell if it's going to, like, let me, and so I'm just like, I'm on this thing, and I don't want to get flung off. So I think now the part of my challenge is just doing this consistently. Okay, so we're at 3 minutes, and oh my gosh, I get nervous every time, you guys. It also seems like whenever I'm recording, that's when it wants to stop. Kind of awkward. But I did notice that for some reason when I was recording every single walk. But yeah. Okay, we're at 1.5. Let's see if it will continue to go up. And you know what? I really didn't want to have to close this book, but I wonder if that's probably not a good idea. So I can know where to know the towel is falling, and I'm gonna have to hold it anyway. Okay, let me go ahead and get my balance back here. I think the pen is falling off. Don't want to have that happen. Definitely not. Okay, hopefully that'll stay. You can see where I'm marking at. I'm a little bit to the right. All right, you guys, here we go. Okay, that's 1.6. 4 minutes. 1.7. Oh my gosh. Let it go for a couple seconds. That's 1.8. We should hear a change in the sound because it's speeding up. 1.9. All right, let's see. Here we go. All right, we're at 2. Did we just get lucky, you guys? Oh my gosh. Okay. All right, so I guess I'll get to the notes in a second. This is just a recap of the week. There should be 7 there. I believe I see 7 days in notes, kind of somewhat. So, what has been going on this week? Or the past couple of weeks? I don't know if I've mentioned, but we've made a couple of changes. As you guys know, like I said, my Maxima bye-bye, sold it to CarMax. So I think I'll just start with that. Okay, so very, very important. If you get an offer from CarMax, if they don't tell you, oh, we need to see your vehicle before we're willing to make you an offer, make sure whether you complete the rest of the process online. They'll have you take pictures of your driver's license, yourself, yes, a selfie, and go through the process that you would there at your appointment online. And you upload it to your account that's there. Make sure you pay attention to your emails, because if a picture comes out blurry, they will email you and tell you, hey, this picture was blurry, can you go ahead and resubmit it? And then after that, they will call you to schedule an appointment. But for us, we already had an offer. Your offers are only for 7 days at a time. They do have an expiration date. And so we didn't want to go past the 7 days. And seeing as how it was our second offer, because we didn't do the first offer, we need to get in there as soon as possible, basically within the 7 days. Okay, but yes, first and foremost, they did tell us, what we saw between the first offer and the second offer is if you don't accept your first offer, the offer will never go up, it will continue to go down. And you guys, it goes down by $1,000 or more every time you don't take that offer. Okay, so literally 1 day can make a difference. Our second offer was $1,400 less than our first offer. So yeah, we were like, ouch. And let me tell you, there's no way to get your first offer back. So if you like it, and if you're looking to sell your car, whether or not you want to buy anything else from them, make sure you take your first offer and you go within those 7 days. Okay, and if you have to, call and tell them, I want to make my appointment, I have an offer code, and they can do everything that you basically do online, okay? Having a copy of your driver's license, things like that. You need your registration. I believe you need your insurance card of the car. And don't worry if it's not paid off, because they're gonna ask you for the account number to the bank that financed your vehicle. And if there is a difference, then of course you receive the difference, okay? What they call the positive equity, right? Now, very important, if there's negative equity in a sense, and what I mean by that is, let's say you still owe $8,000 on your vehicle, and they're only willing to offer you $5,000, okay? And in your mind, you're like, well, I just want to sell it. I'm not even looking to get into another vehicle. Yes, I could take that $3,000 difference and put it toward another vehicle if I was, but I actually only want to sell, and I'm short, and I'd rather owe $3,000 instead of $8,000. Keep in mind, you will have to pay that $3,000 before you leave. Okay, everything has to be squared away at CarMax, no matter what the situation is. So I do want to make sure that I mention that. If you're just selling, you're not buying another vehicle anywhere, not even from there, and you want to just owe less, you have to have the rest of the money, okay? So if, let's say, somehow, some way, what they're offering is almost exactly what you owe. I don't know if that's ever happened where it's an exact number, but I mean, at least you walk away even, right? The car gets paid off, your hands are untied with it. Like I said, if there's a positive equity, then, like I said, if you like that first offer, don't miss it, okay? Because it will lower, like I said, by $1,000, maybe more, every single offer. Okay, so, but they are legit, I can tell you that. And it takes about 45 minutes, maybe an hour, if you don't complete the process. Okay, because you start off with the offer, you go through, like I said, once you upload everything, it asks you to upload, you take a picture, and it goes into your account, it goes to a different department. I believe that's not there locally at the site. Okay, so if it doesn't get complete, and then it says, okay, someone's gonna call you and set up an appointment, you pretty much do everything in store, I guess you can say, or at CarMax that you did online. So if you don't complete the process online, even if you made your appointment in advance, you will find that they're gonna ask you for everything that you uploaded. Okay, so it's gonna feel like you started all over again. But the good thing is, you have your offer and you have your offer code. Make sure you give them the offer code. And like I said, within 45 minutes to an hour, you're walking away with a check if you have positive equity. So let's say you owe, like I said, $8,000 and they give you 15, right? Your positive equity, or what you're gonna walk away with is 7,000. Okay, so the check will say 7,000, you take it to the bank, and then a bank draft is done between CarMax and it's or I should say from CarMax, and it's sent to your bank account. Okay, some banks, something that high of a dollar amount, they might say, oh, there's a 7 to 10 day hold. Some banks, if you've been banking there for a while, credit union, wherever you bank at, they may possibly only do a hold for like 5 days. It depends, okay, on your relationship with your bank, and basically actually how your account is, if you are in good standing and stuff like that. And then mainly I think, like with our credit union, for example, they also look at if you have enough money in your account, whether I think it's in your checkings or your savings, to back up the check. Okay, if you do, you might be able to convince the representative at the bank, or like I said, the credit union, whatever you want to call it, wherever you bank at, to go ahead and release the funds. Okay, now, someone might tell you, well, since it's a bank draft, it has to come from CarMax. They may not be able to do that like they can, like with a balance transfer check, let's say, but you never know. Okay, so if you are going to, let's say I said the 7,000, right? If you're gonna use that 7,000 to put yourself back into another vehicle, and you need that actual money, right? Because what I've learned is you can put a down payment on a car with a credit card. Keep in mind that every dealership has a different amount of a max that they can take. Some 3,000, some 5,000, some may not care. Okay, of course you can still write checks, and honestly, I believe, don't quote me on this, but you can actually purchase a vehicle with a credit card if you have a high enough credit limit, but make sure you notify your credit card department, or what do you call that? I don't know, it's a creditor. Yeah, the creditor. Make sure you notify them that you're going to make a large purchase. Okay? And then also, don't forget, if you have a balance transfer offer, let's say you have it at 0%, yeah, it might only be for 12 months, but let's just say you have a high enough credit limit, and whatever their policies are, let's say there's not a max like with Chase. I think the max balance transfer is 15,000, but let's just say the vehicle you want to get is less. Okay, no matter what their rule is. U.S. Bank, I've talked to you about that before. Their balance transfers, you can only do up to, it's like 80 or 85% or like 90% of your credit limit, so that you don't overcharge the card. Discover, it's, I believe, whatever you want, but keep in mind that your balance transfer amount and your fee, your one-time fee, cannot go past your credit limit. Okay, so like I said, different companies have different policies, but if you don't have 0% on your purchases, and you really need a vehicle, and you have a 0% on your balance transfer offers, and you have those checks, either write it to whomever the dealership tells you to write it to, or write it to yourself. But keep in mind, obviously, you want to know for sure that they're willing to sell the car to you for a specific amount. And then keep in mind your 0% interest is only for however long the term is from your creditor. Okay, like I said, let's say it's Discover and they gave you 12 months. Okay, so your interest rate will probably be way higher even than the interest rates now. Okay, you'll be looking at the 20-somethings instead of whatever the interest rate will be at whatever bank that's used to finance you, okay? Whoever the dealership can find. If it's Volkswagen, Volkswagen might finance you. You never know. Okay, so those are just little tips and tricks that I've learned along the way. If you seriously need a vehicle and you're like, you don't have even a down payment like right away, or you have a down payment but you're like, okay, my car payment, good thing it's not for another, 45 days or something. Like, you have some time. Like, your car payment's not due right away. And I think it's more than 30 days. And so you're thinking, okay, I can take care of that later because I have a month or two almost, right? But the initial thing is getting the vehicle. And if you have to put something down, where do you get the down from if you don't have it, right? So get creative. Just don't forget the terms of whatever you use. Okay, so that's what we started off doing. And like I said, we were in and out in about 45 minutes to an hour. If I had seen the email that said that my driver's license was blurry, then I would have re-uploaded it. But what I didn't want to have happen was I didn't want someone to go in and change our appointment that we had already made. Because like I said, we learned from seeing the first offer and the second offer, you don't want to miss the offer. It's not going to go up. It will always go down. So you only have those 7 days. And it gives you your expiration date. Don't go past it. Also, check and see if the expiration date is at the beginning of the day, or do you have until the end of the expiration date day? Because you never know. You might not be able to make it to the CarMax until, let's say, your deadline's the 30th of November, right? If we use, let's say, a better date, if we go from today, then if you had an offer today, your offer will probably be over on like the 18th of November. Okay, so let's just say you can't make it until the 18th. Make sure you have until the end of that day. Because if not, when you refresh your offer, it's gonna drop. Okay, so, but yeah, it was time. I was like, what we owe in comparison to what they're gonna give us, I couldn't pass it up. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm tired of car payments. In my lifetime, I've paid off one car completely, and I miss not having car payments. Okay, so it just seemed like the right time to do it. I mean, the first offer, oh my gosh, it was a couple of $1,000s less than what the vehicle was when we got it before the taxes and DMV fees and stuff like that. So luckily, it was a pretty good amount, but can you imagine if we didn't owe on it anymore? We pretty much would have gotten almost all the money back, right? Minus the fact that the longer you take to pay off your vehicle, the more interest you're gonna pay. But either way, great deal. They are legit. It does work. They do have to honor those offers. Okay, so it works. First time dealing with CarMax. And you can take your vehicle, I believe, to any CarMax nationwide in the US. So you could be in, let's say, one state, you did your offer online or on your phone, got your code, and you live in another state. You're like, you know what? I know we'll be home within the 7 days. Like, we're going home, let's say, tomorrow or the next day. It'd be easier for us. We do have a CarMax in town for us to deal with it there. Because of course you have to have a way from the lot if you're not going to take anything else. And if you don't have a second vehicle, or if you don't get a ride from one of your friends or something like that, right? Okay, so obviously you're not trying to get stranded at the lot. Now, granted, I've noticed CarMax lots are big and they have a lot of vehicles. And I think if you get one from them, they might be able to make you some type of deal better than what you thought. Okay, so let's say you have a specific vehicle in mind. Check and see if CarMax has it before you leave the lot. You never know. I was pretty impressed with their inventory in both of the states that we went to the lots. There's none here. This town is too small. Okay, so thumbs up for CarMax. It works. It's true. They have to honor the offer. Just make sure you screenshot it or something. Make sure you have that code. And if you want to make your own appointment, give them the code. Okay, so let's see. Now they will tell you, I'll make sure I mention this. They're going to tell you this anyway. Once you sign that paper, that title paper, the vehicle's theirs. Okay, so if you're wondering, if I get this offer code, am I tied to it? Like, do I have to do the deal? No. You could get to the CarMax. You could go through whatever they ask you to fill out, which is not a lot of paperwork at all. Believe me, it's almost more online than it is in person. Even though it's like the same information, it's crazy. I guess, especially since they can see you, so you don't have to do the whole selfie thing, right? You have a decision even there. Until you sign that title paper, your vehicle is still yours. Okay, so let's just say you're like, you know what? I changed my mind. That's okay. I believe if they don't process it all the way through, your code is still good until the expiration date, because you never know. A couple of days you might say, no, you know what, I'm gonna go for it, especially if you saw something else. Whatever you're looking for, let's say the other vehicle's newer, has less miles, you weren't in the market for another vehicle, however, who knows? You might be selling more than one vehicle to CarMax, right? And then you're like, you know what, well, I just was gonna rely on this, and I changed my mind. Like I said, you might have two vehicles and decide you only want to deal with one and try and sell both of them to CarMax. I don't think there's a limit, but ask them to see how many cars can I sell to you guys at one time. You never know. Your money you walk away with from the first one and maybe combined with the second one might be enough to maybe put you into one outright or get you really close, especially if you're going to take all of that money and put it towards the next vehicle, right? Okay, so like I said, get creative. You guys know I'm all about deals. I'm all about the opportunities and doors are open. If it's positive, I say take it. You don't have to take my advice, like I said. It's just my advice. But I mean, I try to stay as positive as I can. And sometimes I'm speaking from experience when it comes to credit and now the experience with CarMax. So yeah, go check it out. Okay, so time check, because I, believe it or not, am not used to recording these videos anymore for the walk and talk. Yeah, seems how I don't do it every day. We're at 22 minutes and 23 seconds. Okay, so next up, I did a video, like I said, right before this, about Rudolph Volkswagen in El Paso, Texas. I probably should have started with that. You never know how far in people watch your videos, but if you're still watching, then Rudolph Volkswagen of El Paso is one of the best car lots you can go to. Okay, great customer service, very nice vehicles. I don't know if I'm going to say this word correctly, but cleanliness of a vehicle on the outside and inside is very important to me. It's not just the mechanical aspect of the car. The fact that they keep them in really good condition, great mechanics, things like that. But it's also important when I walk up to a car, whether I'm browsing or in the market, to actually buy one. I mean, because if you think about it, that vehicle's going to be with you for a while. You're probably going to have car payments, right? So, very expensive. Like, I want to see it clean. I don't want to get in and do a test drive or just get inside one, even if I say no to a test drive, and I just want to see the inside, and it's dirty. And I have not seen one vehicle, not one, new or used, that has been in anything less than, I believe the word is it pristine, or I'll say excellent condition. I kid you not. And they have a lot of vehicles, a lot, okay? And somehow Mazda now plays a part in that. I don't know if they're partnered, but like you're either buying from Rudolph or Volkswagen or you're buying from Mazda, but every single vehicle, I haven't seen not one. You know, sometimes you just walk up, you kind of peek in the window, not one They're spotless on the inside. Like I said, number 2, customer service is really, really important. Great customer service. I'm talking about all the way from sales to the service department, to the finance department, to the title department, you name it. And you almost feel like you're at home. Wow, that would have been something good for me to mention in my other video, because it's true. You can ask anyone that knows us that we always tell people about 2 things when it comes to cars. Now 3, because CarMax. Rudolph Volkswagen in El Paso, Texas. Capital One Auto Navigator, because they will pre-qualify you without running your credit, okay? And you can take that pre-qualification letter with you to the dealership, and if they can't find a bank or a credit union that can beat Capital One, you at least know that you have that, and that Capital One will finance you, okay? So it's a good backup to have. And also you get to see if the vehicle is no longer in stock, you get to see what dealerships they deal with, and you get to see the inside of the car. You get in pictures, unless it's like super new, then there's usually pictures of outside and inside and 360. Okay, so Rudolph Volkswagen of El Paso, Texas is one of the dealerships that is on Capital One Auto Navigator website. Okay, that's how we, I believe, came across them, I think. I can't remember if we actually, for some reason, ended up there, and I would have to say no. That's how we like stumbled across them in the first place, and we've been dealing with them ever since. We've bought more than one vehicle from them. But yes, okay, so we've dealt with a lot of different sales reps. All of them have been great. The one that we dealt with this time is named Lisa. And Lisa's just really straightforward. She's really laid back. She's really funny. No sugarcoating anything. And if there's a better deal for you, she'll lay it in front of you and see if you like it. Or do you want to go with what you're looking at? Or do you want to just say, let me think about it. Here, take my card. And you want to see anything else? You want to go on another test drive? Or you let me know what you want to do. That's Lisa, okay? Wonderful experience. And so, I'm telling you, however long it takes, she'll work with you. You make the decision, decide, and tell her what you want to do, okay? Because you'll know. Nothing will be hidden from you when you talk to her. Ask all your questions, okay? I have to say, if you don't know, you probably didn't ask, okay? Because she's very knowledgeable. And if there just so happens to be anything she doesn't know, she finds out. And she won't tell you something knowing she doesn't know the answer. She will find out and come back and tell you, okay? And then you meet other people that are there, okay? So other people will walk up and say, yeah, here's this. You get to meet them as well. Like I said, all like the different departments and stuff like that. Just a really good experience. So, yeah, stop by, see her. Like I said, her name's Lisa. Rudolph, I'm out of breath now. Volkswagen of El Paso, Texas. And see what gives. And like I said, if you started with CarMax, if you waited until the bank draft clears into your account, now you have your money to have a foundation to work with, right? You never know. Like I said, just don't miss those 7 days of CarMax offer, okay? Don't. It will only go down. Like I said, $1,000, no less, every single time, down. Every 7 days, okay? So, can't stress that enough. Here, looking at my notes here. None of this stuff is written here. I'll get to, like I said, this in a second, see if there's anything else. Okay, trying to make sure I don't double info. Right, okay, so, yeah, super excited. Let's do a time check. 28 minutes, 36 seconds. Let's see, next. Okay, so we did get a vehicle from there. I do want to say that. In the other video, I believe I mentioned it. If you like that Atlas Crossport with the black rims, that's the one we got. But they have so many. Oh my gosh. Did I mention the 2023 promotions? I don't think I did. I think it's on, I don't want to say any 2023 vehicle, but it might be. Right now, their 2023 vehicles are at a 4 point, it's either 09 4.9 or 4.49. I can't remember what is after the decimal. Like I said in my video, I recorded it before this, but what I can tell you is what's important is the 4 in front of the decimal, because interest rates are high. If I didn't mention it in this video, they're in the high 8s, high 9s. I saw above 11%, and that's if you have good or excellent credit, even if so, okay? And you guys know I work a lot on our credit, and so my score is up there, and yeah, those are the interest rates. We also went to more than one car lot too as well, throughout the different states. We've been in and out of our, I used to say hometown, all within the past 3 weeks. Okay, so that 4 point, yes, that 4 point, whatever it is, the 2023s, at Rudolph Volkswagen in El Paso, Texas. I mean, I don't know of any place that's gonna be able to beat that. Not right now. Okay, so make sure you ask them how long is it gonna go for, because I know we're coming up to the end of the year as well. Okay, so just check and see. You never know. Newer vehicles tend to have more incentives anyway, and so you might say, well, newer equals higher price. Well, yeah, but less miles. Miles play a big part, especially when you're selling a vehicle, and especially the CarMax. Part of what can make your offer be maybe less than what you expected is if you have high miles. Okay, so keep that in mind. Compare your options between the car lot and CarMax. Okay, and just don't be shocked. Okay, like our example, I'm speaking from experience. This actually just happened. We, let's see, had that T1, right? It had over 90-something thousand miles, like 95,000 or 96-something thousand miles. That is what made our offer so low. They offered like 55, and we still owed almost double that. And like I said, CarMax, you have to pay the difference before you leave. Okay, they're not gonna let you just walk away and it's not squared away, right? So it's like both of you are basically paying your loan off together. So like I said, the example I gave you guys earlier was actually pretty close to what happened, and that's why we ended up deciding to take the T1 and trading it in at a car lot. Okay, so the one that you see in my video is from that state. That's not from Rudolph, but I did mention that in the video. The one you see attached to the video I just made, that one is from Rudolph. So yeah, busy couple of weeks. I can say, if we were back to no car payments, anything sitting here at home would have been still there, because that's my goal, no car payments. And it's kind of difficult to do when you have more than one vehicle, right? I'm pretty sure you guys can relate to that. So just trying to, like, I'm always, you know, budgeting, and it's not just about looking for deals. You know, you have your home budget of things that are concrete, that are there already. And once a payment is what it is, can't change. I mean, you can try refinancing, hopefully get a lower interest rate, which should lower your payments, right? Now you're dealing with a whole new lender, whatever you want to call it, creditor, I don't know what you would call them, for a car loan. And so just trying to figure out where we can save, and even if the money, you know, has to be diverted to something else. Okay, so that's basically what I've been doing. I'm a numbers person. Now I'm not talking about like algebra, geometry, stuff like that. No. I'm pretty basic, but I understand money. I understand, like, how you guys see how I do about the deals. Did that cost you thousands of dollars to go on that trip? No. Did it cost you thousands of dollars to stay there? It must have. It was overseas. No, not with me, right? So if you watch my videos on the credit cards and stuff like that, the points, the miles, keep in mind also that those were some of my earlier videos, and I was working with a different phone for recording and stuff like that. But what's important is the information. Okay, so I find out the information, or I take my experiences, I pass it on to you, and you do with what you want with it. That's just, honestly, once you get into paying like the debt consolidation places, I'm not saying they don't work, but they have their own fee. And so often at times what you find, if you're really trying to fix your credit, that you end up having to do it yourself. Okay, so I've learned a lot. Not an expert, but I have learned a lot, and a lot of it's from experience. As a matter of fact, with credit, it's all from experience. Okay, I don't think I've told you guys about anything that I have not done already. Okay, so that's basically what I do. Like I said, I review, you name it, I review it. I'm broad, okay? It's not specifically electronics and different things like that. So, and even with this walk, okay, oh my gosh, let me tell you guys, my weight is at 159.1, I forgot to write that down for today. The lowest I had got was like 157 this week. You know my goal is 150. And I'm like, I'm trying to stay away from 160. I'm trying to go down. I keep saying that, but I am. And 35 minutes, 8 seconds, we're almost done. So excited because it's hot. You guys, it was just cool enough in here to have this long sleeve shirt. It's just hot enough to wear. I'm like, why did I have on a long sleeve shirt now? And why didn't I bring my fan and my remote, right? You guys know I always have that little remote to that fan. So it's toasty over here now. It's hot. And like I said, the treadmill is behaving. So I think tomorrow I'm gonna see if I can get it up to 2 again. And so if my friend is still on the phone with me, by the time I finish my walk, she's gonna hear me out of breath. So we laugh about that, like, oh my gosh. I know we're not that much out of shape, right? But 30 or 40 minutes on any machine where you're moving, especially if you're going 2+ for your speed, you're probably gonna get like this toward the end, right? It's expected. Okay, so let's see, anything else with cars? That's what most of it has been about, right? The walk for today. Trying to think of anything else that I learned. Okay, I will say this. I was not going to mention this, but if your state is a state where you own your plates, your license plates, okay, at the dealership, they might tell you, oh, we can't do this. That's something you have to take care of once you get your plates. Just go in with them and transfer your plates. Especially if you still have time left on your tags, right, for your plates. Because then all you pay is probably a transfer fee. You most likely won't have to re-register because the plates are already registered. Okay, so I don't know if each dealership has this, but I do know that there should be, or might be, what's called the title department at the dealership. See if they have a title department. If you just got the vehicle off the lot, talk to that person in the title department and see if they can transfer your title for you, because as you know, at the dealership, usually they take care of all the DMV work, the registration, and then you pick up the next year, right? Okay, so yeah, if you want to keep your plates and it's a state where you own them, like you can keep them, see if they have a title department and so they can do the transfer for you, okay? That way you're not having to go into the DMV. Because usually when you get a car off of a car lot from a dealership, you're not having to deal with that, like I said, until the following year anyway. Okay, so something I learned, didn't know, and it's very useful. Time check, 37 minutes, 58 seconds. All right, so just a little bit of time left to go over the week. Aside from all of that stuff that happened in the week, what I learned about CarMax, what I learned about, you know, if you're in a state where you own your plates, just the idea of how to get yourself into the vehicle if need be necessary, things like that. Some stuff I didn't know, I get to add it to my knowledge, so I'm excited, and I'm excited to share that with you guys. All right, let's quickly go over the week. I don't think I'm gonna make it to the whole thing, okay, but there's not a lot of notes. Day 274 was November 5th, it was a Sunday. Of course, there's no video. And I started at 2:20 p.m., finished at 2:58. That was the day the treadmill got oiled. And I had a 5-minute credit. Day 275 was November 5th. 6, actually. I had to correct that with a pen. I didn't write it out. I just wrote over that 5. That's a 6. Started at 12:49 p.m. And on none of these days, I didn't do any double or triple days. I think I'm going to be a little bit ahead because Thanksgiving week looking kind of slim. All right, so should be out here walking. All right, so day 276 was November 7th. That was Tuesday. And I only walked, like I said, for the one walk. That was the day I weighed in at 157.6. And the lowest I've gotten is 156.3. So I was super excited that I was finally getting closer to that, to get back to, oh, I'm 6 pounds within my goal. And then I shot up. Like I said, to 159.1 for today. So yeah. So that day was speed 1.7. Day 277 speed was 1.9. Day 278 speed was 1.6. Day 279 speed was 1.8. As you know, today is day 280 speed 2. And so that's like a little recap over the week. Okay, so when I said I was going to consistently keep walking or making up for days that I couldn't walk in advance if I didn't have some saved in my, what I call my bank days, that I would and I have. Okay, so I kept up to what I said I would do. And we are out of time. 40 minutes, 19 seconds, 1.28 for distance, 137 calories. Let's push stop, because as you know, sometimes it doesn't like to, right? And I was just like, the nerve of the treadmill, right? First it was stopping frequently, even in my videos, right? And then it got to the point to where I was pushing the button and it was just still going, and I was walking at 2, you guys, oh my gosh, I think a little faster than 2. And so I had to do that side step off thing. I don't know if you guys remember that. And luckily I didn't fall. I'm really surprised I didn't have any water, especially considering that other video I recorded for the dealership to tell you guys about it and stuff like that. So it was like, we call them takes, right? When you re-record again. Like take 8 or 9, you guys, oh my gosh, I was 2 through. Okay, so I have, I think, 2 videos that I make sure that I link my other 2 videos to the correct one. And so I have a lot of editing kind of somewhat to do, just the merging of the videos. And this one, I think I should have had enough battery life to record this one as well. So we should be good. All right. So next week, next Saturday, I'm not quite sure what the topic will be, aside from just giving you guys a rundown of the rest of this week, right? Starting with tomorrow. Got a chrome delete going on. No, I'm not doing it myself this time. I know that they said, plastic dip, hyperdipper, rubber-based paints, and so it's kind of hard, even if they say gloss, to have that gloss finish. Humidity does play a part. Not a lot of wind, obviously, even though you have to have a well-ventilated area. You can't have your garage door just open, right? There's too much wind. And so I just did not feel like dealing with all that. So I'm letting someone else do the chrome delete, and I'm not going to lie to you guys, it was a little pricey. I'm going to tell you guys, I really, really hope that it comes out looking like the picture of the video of what I showed them. I know it wasn't going to be exact. So it's always nice to have something a little bit unique. And I had different ideas. They bounced different ideas with me, and we came up with what we think might be a really cool chrome delete. So I don't know if I'm going to do an after video and attach my befores, because I did do a walk around with the vehicle while I was still at the lot before I should say we ever even decided to get it, right? So I'm not going to lie to y'all. I was ready to just sell the CarMax and be done. Like I said, we still have car payments, and so I was like, no need to have this car payment too. So it just so happened that it's a need. So I'm excited. I'm excited for, oh my gosh, the space inside of it. So the Atlas Cross Sports have a lot of space, like inside, especially like in the back. Your passenger in the front will be so happy, because they have to be pretty tall to not be able to like swing their legs and stuff like that. They have that room to be able to stretch without having to push the seat back. And like I said, the back seat space, oh my gosh, I think what they did was they didn't do that 3rd row. So it's not a 7-passenger, it's a 5-passenger. And then the cargo space is a lot. And I like the Cross Sport because it kind of angles down toward the back. I know the regular Atlas, I think, is, I don't want to say it's a little more boxy, I guess, kind of is rounded, but it's a little more boxy. So the Cross Sports are nice. If you're looking for, like a new SUV or something like that. Now the gas, I will have to tell you that Freeway Eco, and I don't know if you, because if you're driving, you might forget to just go back in the normal mode if you're just on the streets. So I'm going to do a test, okay? I'm going to do a review, okay? Because we have the SEL Premium sitting there, and like I said, the SE is in the shop to be chrome deleted. And so I'm going to let you guys know SEL Premium Atlas Crossboards, how does it do on Eco? And I can actually tell you right now, really good. And I believe my husband has it still in Eco, right? Okay, that's going to be, they all have a purpose. Okay, we're not just car crazy. They have a purpose. And so, um, anyway, it did really good on the gas because I happened to notice. I was like, oh my gosh, the maximum was a V6, but it was really really good in gas. The Tiguan sipped gas, but it was a 4-cylinder, right? So this other one, the SE, I'm gonna have to throw it in Eco and see what happens when I get it back. I will have to admit I've been having to drive it out of state or to the next city, which is still like 45 minutes to an hour away from us, and then out of state as well. And so I mean, I didn't expect to, you know, have a lot of gas left, but usually with Volkswagens, I mean, you can go pretty far before you even hit half a tank. And I think it's the weight of the vehicle. The crossboards are pretty heavy, so I know that plays a part. The weight does, and so far as how much gas you get per mile or whatever. And so, like I said, I will let you guys know an SE Atlas Crossboard. How does it do if you throw it into Eco, and what happens if you just keep it in Eco and don't put it back to normal mode, like when you're driving around in town? Because that's one reason why I like Volkswagen. And I didn't think about the weight of the SUV. I've never owned an SUV besides that Tiguan, but the 4-cylinder is what made up for like the weight. And obviously the Crossboard weighs more, I think, than the Tiguan. Okay, so I'm not used to driving an SUV and looking down like, okay, normally I still be on 3/4 of a tank. I don't care if I drove over to another state and came back, right? 100 and let's say something will take like an hour and a half. I would still be looking at like, oh, the gas hand barely moved in comparison to the Crossboard. So I'm just like, ooh, yeah. I'm kind of happy that prices are going down just a little bit and gas just a little, right? But yes, so those are going to be the reviews I'm going to have so far as how's it work, because you guys might be in the market like to look, and you might have been kind of eyeing it and like, okay, and gas might be like, whoa, really important, and you want to know. So I'm going to tell you guys what I'm experiencing so far. But keep in mind that we have not had these vehicles for that long. Okay, so I will let you guys know in a future date how it goes. Okay, what I'm gonna have to do is obviously is fill it up. Okay, right? And then I'm gonna have to see what happens and try to keep in mind how many miles did I go, so I can give you guys the miles. And I went from a full tank, and I was in whatever mode, and this is what happened with the gas and how fast I have to put back in, because usually that you get about down to, I'm trying to say about down to half a tank, right? And you're just like, you know what? I need to put it back to full. Okay, so that's just, even now, even with the prices now, it's just like, you never know. You get to running errands and stuff like that. You get to doing other stuff, going to work, stuff like that. Next thing you know, you're just like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize I needed gas. Good thing they have those alerts, right? But yeah, so we'll see what happens, what's going to happen, and what am I noticing in the price difference and stuff like that. Because either way, we still have car payments anyway. So looking at the years we had left, it was like, well, it's not like we walked into a car payment and we didn't have one already. So that was kind of what we outweighed with everything like that, or else we would have been down to 2 vehicles. So yeah, but I'm going to get going. I will see you guys later. As always, thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Stay safe. Bye.